What if Deku had Bendy's powers? Part 5. Before I get into this, I've added a new form to someone's request. Now, in this form, he's basically a giant. I am thinking about the other two forms he had suggested, so if y'all want to see those, it will be in the comment section of this video, and I will add the one that has the most likes. Okay, without further ado, let's get right on into this. Now, Betty had woken up after he had beaten Stain, as he had a bit of a headache. My head. As he looks over and just sees, well, he's in a hospital room. He didn't really have any injuries at all. In fact, he feels stronger from the incident with the Battle of Stain. As he looks around the room and sees, well, Ida and Shoto. Hey, what are you guys doing here? As they were just simply there. As Ida got injured, Shoto got injured, because I'm going to say he was more in the fighting with the Nomus than he was with Stain this timeline. So, of course, the same person, the detective, I believe, head chief of the detective of the police comes in and talks to them. And, of course, they say they're not going to be a part, their names won't be out there. We're going to say Endeavor defeated him, which they're okay with, same as in canon. As Bendy's like, okay, how are you going to erase the ink from the scene, though? As he brings that up, don't worry, we have a cleanup crew down there right now. Okay, because I think it's a bit suspicious if someone comes down to investigate by themselves and finds that the entire alleyway was covered with ink, because Endeavor's Corks Fire, they're going to be expecting scorch marks. As he says this, yes, that's why we have someone down there to clean it up right now. Well, that's good. As he gets out of the bed, and just straightens his tie. Well, I better get back to my agency. As he just simply walks out the door and turns to the left. Excuse me, young man? Yes? Your agent, the X-ray guy, I believe, with the laser quirk, is currently the other way. Oh, why thank you. He quickly turns around and starts walking. As the detective, Ida, and Shoto just simply watch as he goes by the door again. Wrong direction, as he just walks down that way. And he goes to do his rest of his agency, same as canon, same as everyone else does at canon as well. And I'm actually going to just go when they go to the dorms, because the dorm system has been put in place. As he goes to his room, as he's going through all these pictures that he has of Bendy and all that, as he's scrolling through his notebook, as he goes through theories, I should really try to make another form. What form should I make, though? As then he noticed, he starts thinking of people with gigantic quirks, like, Mount Lady. Pretty sure there's a few others out there with gigantic quirks, so you start thinking of that. I'm gonna need something to combat those. Maybe I can make a gigantic version of myself. I know I have those other two forms, I think. As he has vague memories of the Ink Demon form, he knows of the Beast form, he just never used it in public, so no one has seen it. The only person that's seen it has been Stain, actually. As he starts to do that, of course, it's time for the hero names. That probably was before the internships I probably should have already gone through, but sorry. And his hero name is simply going to be Bendy. Because why not? And we're going to go with the heroes versus students for the training camp arc. And who is he going to be paired up with? Let's roll the wheel. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna roll the wheel. I'm just going to randomly choose one, and it's gonna be the same as Ken and Bakugo. Because I would love to see a tag team of Bendy and Bakugo versus All Might. As, of course, everyone else does their same thing as in canon. And for Bendy and Bakugo's turn. As he shows up at the arena. Alright, what's the game plan? I say we run straight for the exit, as we cannot hope to stand a chance against All Might. As, of course, Bakugo being Bakugo rushes towards All Might, who simply gets punched into a wall. As Bendy quickly uses his ink to grab Bakugo before he slams into the wall, and simply slides on his ink, as All Might goes to throw a punch, as he simply does a backflip over it, as then he throws ink in All Might's eyes, as he then creates a giant hammer to hit All Might. The hammer breaks as he looks at the stick. I'm gonna need a bigger hammer. As All Might throws a punch, he quickly turns into ink and throws Bakugo in the air. As he goes to the ground and makes a portal underneath All Might and comes up with a sucker punch to the face. As it doesn't really do much to All Might, but it does a little bit of damage. As he looks at his arm, okay, noted, I'm gonna need to put a lot more strength. As All Might tries to go for a low kick or a low hit, as he simply just turns into a dog and starts running away. As he transforms back into Bendy, I'm not gonna be able to defeat you with this form. As All Might goes to rush at him again, as he turns into his giant Bendy form. As he simply throws a punch, colliding with All Might, as the Bendy giant hand just blows up in ink, covering All Might's face, as he then takes this chance to put one of the cuffs on his arm, as then he's about to punch with his other hand, with the giant Bendy form, as All Might managed to wipe off the ink and punch it, again obliterating the ink arm, but he simply just regrows it. As All Might notices the cuff on his hand, as Bakugo tries to interfere by exploding All Might, as he then just gets tossed to the ground, and he throws the railing that pins Bakugo to the ground. As he goes to punch the middle of the giant Bendy, which simply just blows up, as Bendy comes out of the ink right next to All Might and manages to cuff him. We win! As All Might's like, huh? Huh? How would you do... You really forget I can travel through my ink. It doesn't matter the distance. Or, correction, it does matter the distance. I cannot do it. There's a certain distance radius. But whatever. As Bendy, who didn't take really any damage in the fight, played strategically. He had moved his body from within the giant towards the lower portion where All Might wouldn't think to, strike, as the main parts were going to be the arms and mostly the upper body. So, Bendy was hiding in, the giant Bendy's leg. And that's how he got the first cup on. He simply came out and attached it, before going back in without All Might noticing. As he goes to Bakugo, who is enraged. Nerd, get me out of here. The fight's not over until I say so. As he simply says that, yeah, I think it's over. As he then just puts his hand in the ink. Okay, what am I gonna need to calm this guy down? As he pulls out a small hammer. Nah, too small. As he pulls out a syringe. Too pokey. As he keeps digging through, his ink, and then finally pulls out a crowbar. You know what, this will work. As he's about to swing, as All Might simply taps. That's not a good idea. You're right. I totally forgot. As he then covers up in bubble wrap, as then he hits Bakugo in the face, knocking him out. That better? As All Might's just baffled. Okay. He doesn't know what to say. Of course, they pass, and they go towards the training camp. Of course, before we go to the training camp, we're gonna go have Deku in his dorm room. As he's messing around, As then he remembers something that he had put in his drawer as he opens it, as it's a pamphlet of the old ink machine building where they had made, well, the Bendy series. I wish I could visit this place, but this is out of country. Oh well. As Bendy's just simply packing stuff up, we go to the Ink Demon and the Beast Demon, who are currently just in his mindscape. I gotta say, we could really use that giant form. As both the Beast Bendy and the Ink Demon Bendy agree. Imagine if I was that. It would really help me for certain enemies. As the Beast Demon, Beast form Bendy just simply growls. Yes, you'd become a monster if you were that tall. But now that we know we can do that, just imagine all the destruction we can cause. When we're free, of course. Now for now, let's just focus on the thing at hand. And that's finding a way to take control of this brat. As he is thinking in his mindscape. Or he's just thinking in his own thoughts. Now, maybe when he's at a weakened state, I could take over again. Or when he's unconscious. As he's thinking, contemplating, for no apparent reason, the beast form Bendy simply just punches the Ink Demon. As he gets back up and reattaches his jaw that the beast Bendy form dislocated. What was that for? As it stares at him. You want your turn again. I thought you had your turn when you beat Stain to a pulp. As it simply just growls. Arrgh. Fine. But I get the next time I take over. As we go back to, well, Deku Bendy. Or, sorry, what if Deku had Bendy's powers? As he's finished packing. Alright, I got all the essentials. Oh wait, I forgot about this. As he reaches into his ink space, I would say. As he pulls out something. Ah, yes. If it isn't my favorite pen. As he puts it into the suitcase. As he then grabs the suitcase and puts it in the ink. Alright, time to go. As we skip to where they go on the bus. And they're being taken towards the training camp, the Wild Wild Pussycats headquarters. I wonder how today will go. As they reach their destination, of course they're all falling off a cliff. As they're falling off a cliff, we just see Bendy, who's chilling on... What was that thing you'd find at a beach or near a pool? He's in a chair, and with a ink chair, and I would say, he has an umbrella. Like one of those umbrella things that stand next to you, covering you from the shade, as he's just simply drinking a coconut. Nice weather we're having today, don't you agree? As he looks at his classmates that are falling. As they're just baffled that he's doing this at this moment. As, of course, they manage to land on the ground safely, as we see Bendy, who is slowly descending by the ink. As he simply just lands perfectly fine, still in his chair, just drinking some coconut water. I gotta say, that's a refreshing drink. As he claps, another please, as another Bendy comes out with another one. Thank you, as they're just shocked that he's not taking this seriously at all. Why aren't y'all going ahead? Go ahead, you gotta get to the camp in no time. Shouldn't you be going? I can get there in a snap. I'm just enjoying my break. Because, again, Bendy has teleportation. He can move super fast. He can go through walls. Bendy is like a reality warper. I'm not giving him that power, but he has that ability in the game. So, anyway, let me get back to this before I get into game lore. As they're simply going through. Okay, let's see. Alright, as he gets up, as it's been like an hour or two, I guess it's time for me to, well, get to the camp. As he starts to room up his legs like Looney Tunes style, as he starts to run super fast like the Road Runner. As he simply passes all the students and arrives, as he just simply sits in a chair as no one sees him, as he's just sitting in a chair as he's already there. He's there before class 1B even gets there. Aizawa and the Wild Pussycats are there. As he's just waiting. Why is everyone taking so long? I'd like my steak, please. As he just simply claps as another bendy with a steak appears. Thank you very much. As he simply picks up his hat. No, thank you very much, Bendy. No, thank you, I insist. As the other one just disappears. As he simply is just enjoying his steak dinner. As of course, they finally get there and all that. Class 1B is there as they see Bendy, who's just currently just eating a steak dinner. I gotta say, could use something. As he adds a pinch of salt. There we go. As all of them are dumbfounded that he's just standing there, not tired, just eating a steak. And people are questioning, where did he get the steak from? As Deku just says, hey, don't judge how I get things from certain places to here. It's just a little trick I have up my sleeve. As he smiles. As they just go on and make themselves food. As he knows Koda. And as he goes up to Koda and just like to ask him some things, he's going to try to do the same thing as he does in canon. Except his fist is just going to not even be able to hit him. As he simply just jumps. As he's surprised. You're not going to be able to hit me, kiddo. As he simply just lands on his feet. As Koda tries to go for another punch, he just falls into one of his ink portals. As he pops out right behind him. Toodaloo! As he just walks back over to finish his meal. As Koda is a little bit angry and all that, as he just runs off. As he's just enjoying his little meal. I gotta say, this is a fine steak. As then Aizawa comes up to him, I would like to ask you a question. Yes, sir. How long did it take you to get here? Well, I took about 2-3 hours just to chill off in the sun, having a few drinks, and then I got here within like 5 minutes. Give or take less than 5 minutes. I'm not surprised. Your power is really hard to scale. As this is where we take a pause for the moment, as Bendy simply just looks at the fourth wall. Bendy, no, I'm not having... Bendy Deku, you're not having the ability to break the fourth wall. I had enough doing the what if Deku was Discord breaker, the fourth wall. As Bendy Deku simply just looks back at Aizawa. Nothing. As that is the end of part, 5 of What If Deku Had Bendy's Powers. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. This is a fun series recommended by Isaiah? Or Isaac? I'm terrible with names. I apologize. It'll be in the description. Thank him for the video. Thank him for this series. He recommended it. I gotta say, thank you. I've had a blast doing this one. Same with my other series that y'all have recommended. So just letting y'all know. Thank you for y'all support. And I'll be back for another part here shortly.